Tonight's contest, we have the Lowell Raiders against the Peabody Tanners, and it is senior night for the Tanners. Our first senior we will be honoring tonight is number 33, Troy Kappas, with his parents, Peggy and Mike Kappas. Next, we have number 9, Captain Stevie L, with his parents, Stephen and Marcel, and his brother, Tristan. Next, we have number 16, Jeremy Mam, with his father, Sarantha Mam. Next, we have number 6, Jack McKelvey, with his parents, Desiree and Rick, and his sister, Kennedy. Next, we have number 31, Ryan Mills, with his mother, Suzanne Della Croce. Next, we have number 21, Matt Murphy, with his parents, Jerry and Merlena. Next, we have number 8, Captain John Najar, with his parents, Stephanie and Joe. Next, we have number 15, Michael Panzini, with his parents, Stephen Maureen, and his brothers, Stephen and Brian, and his sister, Nicole. Next, we have Andrew Prusalis, number 32, with his mother, Chrysanthi Prusalis, and his brother, Costa, and his sister, Vanessa. Next, we have number 13, Christian Smetana. Next, we have number 44, Captain Ryan Vinagro, with his father, Kevin Vinagro, mother, Mary Parker, his brother, Kyle, and his sister, Caitlin. Last but not least, number 4, Captain Mason Zulli, with his mother, Brenda Zulli. As we finish taking pictures with the parents and seniors, let's give another round of applause for all the graduating seniors on the Peabody Tanners. Thank you. welcome to Coley Lee Field at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School. Today we have a contest from the Peabody Tanners against the Lowell Raiders, and off we go. The beginning of the game, a ground ball scrum off the face-off, and Drew Lucas fighting for the ground ball against the Raider. And the Raiders come up with the ground ball and they clear the ball and they look to set up possession. And a nice solid check by Drew Lucas. Raiders get a touch and they can establish a good solid possession to start off the game. In case you're just tuning in, tonight is senior night for the Tanners. We should be seeing a lot more seniors, some maybe familiar or not so familiar faces on the varsity squad, and we'll hope we can get a win tonight as the Raiders just fumble the ball a little there but regain possession. That's number 32 on defense, playing Andrew Prasalas playing D. And the Raiders find a cutter in the crease and a shot misses the net high off a bouncer, and the Raiders get the rebound and they push backside, ball at X. Tries to spin around Najar, passes off to the side. A face dodge on net and a shot and a goal by the Raiders. Raiders strike first blood. It's number 8 by the Raiders. A solid face dodge on let's see, that would be Tyler Norman. And the Raiders get by the defender, get a one-on-one with the goalie, and put it in the back of the net. $10 minutes, 56 seconds left in the first quarter. Lowell Raiders 1, Peabody Tanners nothing. And we look to face off at the center X. It's Pat Russo with the face-off, and there's a whistle. And it's a hold on the Raiders going Tanner ball. And Kobe Therian picks up the ball for the Tanners, and they look to answer the Raiders in scoring. Raiders showing signs of pushing out on the Tanners, throwing some solid checks early. Patarelli runs by his defender, then passes back up to Therian. Therian works the ball around to Zuli. Zuli looks and finds Ryan Ferra. Ryan Ferra brings it back down the side of the alley and bounces back to Ryan Ferra. Ferra finds Colby Therian at the top of the field. Colby Therian looks to take a dodge at the LSM defender for the Raiders. Colby Therian dodges to the left, finds a man in the middle of the crease, and the ball is dropped and fumbled around. The ball is up, and still no possession here. And the ball deflects off a Tanner player and goes out of bounds. It'll be Raiders ball from about the goal line extended, and they'll be trying to clear. Connor McCarron on the ride against the defender, and the Raider blows by him up the sidelines, and the Raiders have another successful clear. Good defense by Matt Murphy to try to deny the player a touch, but he gets it anyway. He gets by him and brings the ball to the back of the net. The defender gets lost a little. Oh, and the defender goes by him again. A shot goes wide, and the Raiders with the backup. Raiders ball. Number 5 for the Raiders, played by number 8, John Najar, and they bring the ball up to the top. And here's number 11 again. He had that first tally, and he goes to play on Matt Murphy, and he passes to the middle of the crease, and a little too high for the Raider, and John Najar picks up the ground ball and passes up to Ryan Ferra. Excuse me, that would be Michael Panzini, and he steps out of bounds, and that's going to be Raiders ball. Now Mike Panzini playing defense. And number 16 on the Raiders tries dodging one way, then the next, and doesn't get by him and passes off the ball back to number 11. Number 11 on the Raiders passes it back down, covered by number 34 on the Tanners, Tyler Norman. And Norman playing D on number 8. Thank you, Sarah. Now here's number 11, looking to play defense on number 21, Matt Murphy of the Tanners. Matt Murphy, a strong defensive midi for the Tanners. And he makes contact on the hips, and a shot on the run is good for number 11 for the Raiders, and the Raiders lead 2-0 with 8 minutes and 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Number 11 scoring both tallies for the Raiders.
Hey, let's go, White.
A solid sidearm bounce shot by number 11 of the Raiders. Skips over the stick of number 33, the goaltender, Troy Campus, and gets in the back of the net. And here's Pat Russo to face off for the Tanners. See if they can get another possession. It's mostly been the Raiders possessing the ball, although the Tanners did have one possession about a minute long, but nothing came of it after a shot to the crease that went on the ground and then deflected out of bounds. And there's a stalemate in the center, and Pat Russo flicks it behind himself, and Drew Lucas picks up the ground ball, switches it into his left hand, runs down the alley, and passes off to Connor McCarron, the attackman. McCarron with the ball, played D on number 25, gets a touch in the box, and the Tanners set up. Pass to Colby Therian, who passes to Nick Patarelli. Tanners going from left to right. Patarelli going down the right side of the alley, passes down to Jack Holden. Jack Holden playing the exit attack. Runs hard to his right, slows down, and then rolls back to his left looking for Patarelli, but no, he goes around the crease looking for a pass, passes out to Patarelli, looks towards the middle, Patarelli stalls, then passes back up to number 25 of the Tanners, that'd be Trevor Smith. Smith passes off to, I believe that's Colby Therian. Colby Therian with a shot, run down the alley, and a shot misses the net and hits off Connor McCarron. Then Nick Patarelli gets the rebound and goes to the left side of the net, momentarily doubled, then finds Connor McCarron, the open man. McCarron finds the Tanner. That's Colby Therian up top, gets by his man and scores. Colby Therian with the first goal, assisted by Connor McCarron. Therian got the pass from McCarron, went around his defender, and a nice low and away shot by Therian to get the Tanners on the scoreboard. That last Tanners goal scored by number 2, Colby Therian, assisted by number 12, Connor McCarron. And here's Russo again to face off for the Tanners. It's been a pretty good contest between the two face-off mans. Russo winning the majority of them so far. He wins it behind him. Drew Lucas fights for the ground ball, gets it, and there's a flag on. A hard slash by number 16 on Lowell went down in Drew Lucas's legs, and Lucas couldn't keep his balance, fell, and the ref called him a penalty for tripping. Lowell penalty, 1 minute trip. Well, let's see if the Tanners can tie the game here with a man-up advantage. They've been pretty good man-up this year. They also don't have their star attackman, Steve L. Broke his arm last game, but also won the MVP in the Danish Cup in a 6-5 win against Bishop Fenwick. Now the Tanners with the ball, they're looking to find a man cutting inside, and that's Jack Holden playing the exit attack. A freshman midfielder now playing attackman for Steve L. Jack Holden passes off to Colby Therian. Colby back to Jack Holden. Jack with a hard shot, hits off a leg, then hits off the goaltender and deflects wide for Colby Therian to pick up the easy ground ball. Colby Therian passes to Jack Holden, who passes up to the top, finds Colby Therian down at the X, dodges around his guy, finds Jack Holden for an open shot, and a bouncer that goes in. Time and room shot, about a 12-yard shot, bounces it over the left shoulder of the Raiders goaltender, and the Tanners have tied the game at 2 with 6 minutes and 53 seconds left in the game. That last Tanners goal scored by number 20, Jack Holden, assisted by number 2, Colby Therian. And here's Russo again for the face-off. It's been a tough battle for the Clamp, but he's winning the majority of them, and he wins the ball behind him. And Matt Murphy gets the ground ball for the Tanners and brings it up the right sideline. Matt Murphy going towards net, but is checked from behind. The ball comes loose, and it's a 2-on-1. Good ground ball by Jack Holden. Had the stick in one hand, and he got a solid ground ball there for the Tanners, and the Tanners can set up possession as they change. And here's Mason Zulli with the ball. Mason Zulli at the top of the X. Passes off to number 11 of the Tanners. That's Keenan Madden. And Madden passes off to McCarron, who passes up to Patarelli. Patarelli looks in the middle, finds Holden, but Holden decides not to do anything with it and brings it back outside. Holden now brings it back in the net, rolls to his right, gets by his man, looking to the crease, tries to find Connor McCarron on the crease, but nothing gets of it. And then Colby Therian picks up the ground ball, tried to get around his defender, but dropped the ball again, and then picked up his own ground ball, and now is dodging on his defender, beats his guy, passes off to Connor McCarron, who was 2 below goal line extended, and has to force the ball back behind the net. And then he passes up to the midfielder for the Tanners. Tanners controlling the pace of the game now. That's Keenan Madden with the ball, passes off to Colby Therian, bounces back to Keenan. Keenan Madden with the ball, looks to dodge on his defender. Mason Zulli sets a pick, Keenan goes around it. Keenan looks to roll back, it decides not, keeps going down the alley, switches hands, switches back, and then passes off to Holden at the center X behind the net. Now here's Jack Holden, looks to set up a dodge. He has a shorty on him. Jack Holden goes to his right, then spin dodges to his left, fakes a pass to the crease, and then tries to get an inside roll, but a good slide by the Raiders, and nothing comes of it. Holden passes up to Colby Therian, who passes to Zulli at the top of the box, and now Mason Zulli looks like he wants to dodge. Passes back off to Colby Therian, right side of the field. Colby Therian sticking his left hand, dodge to his left. A good hard shot by Colby Therian, goes top left. A nice solid sidearm shot from Colby Therian, and it gets the Tanners the lead, 3-2 with 5 minutes, 1 second left in the first quarter. That last Tanners goal scored by number 2, Colby Therian, unassisted.
Hey, let's go, Russo!
The Raiders humped up to an early 2-0 lead against the Tanners, and it's been all Tanners ever since. Tanners scoring 3 unanswered goals and lead the game 3-2 with 5 minutes and 1 second left in the first quarter. And now we have another face-off. It's been a tough battle in LeClamp with Russo winning most of them. We'll see what happens here. Russo wins it ahead to himself, picks up the ground ball, but doesn't look to push fast break and passes off to, I believe that's Connor McCarron, who fumbles the ball a little, but then splits his defender and goes back towards the box, and he's picked up by a defender. Now here's McCarron, passes off to Jack Holden at X. Jack Holden doing very well at playing attackman in place with Steve L tonight. And now here's Ryan Farah, the top left side of the box. Farah passes off to Trevor Smith, who bounces it back to Ryan Farah. And here's Farah taking his time. Tanners do not seem to be in very much of a hurry. Farah dodges to his right, tries to find Holden in the crease, but the pass is too low for Holden. The ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be Raiders' ball. Raiders will look to clear and answer the unanswered goals by the Tanners. Here's Nick Panarelli with the ride on a midfield defender. Midfielder had the ball, goal line extended, and brings the ball diagonally across towards the box. McCarron with a hard ride pushes him out of bounds, but not before he gets rid of the ball. Passes up to an attackman, and the Raiders clear the ball. Here's number 8 of the Raiders, passes up to the midfielder, and the Raiders have the ball at the top of the box. Raiders look to be playing a 1-4-1 and a dodge down the middle. Trevor Smith defends, and a shot on the run misses high, goes out of bounds. Raiders ball. We'll see how the Tanners do against this 1-4-1 against Lowell. And the Raider gets right by John Najjar and puts the ball in the back of the net past Troy Kappas. And the Raiders answer, and it's a 3-3 tie here at Coley Field with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Pat Russo at the face-off X been a very solid foco, a face-off, get-off player for the Tanners this year. Let's see if he can win another one. The ball set, ref blows the whistle, and Pat Russo tries to get the clamp down. There's a play on. And that's a hold on Raiders, and it's going white. Matt Murphy picks up the ball and looks to push a fast break. Doesn't seem in too much of a hurry, actually, and just goes to the side, gets his touch, and is checked and then hit from behind right as he turns, so it was a legal hit, and the Raiders pick up the ball and look to clear. Passes off to a defender who brings up the ball. Disappointing turnover from the Tanners. Wasn't a heads-up play by the Raiders, and the Raiders possessed the ball and looked to gain another lead. Here's number 8 of the Raiders, defended by Tyler Norman. Passes off to number 5, defended by Najjar. Number 5 throws a poke, throws another poke, and number 5 gets rid of the ball at 16, back up to the midfield. 16 defended by Nick Vecchio, and we'll see if 16 wants to dodge on a long pole here. He looks to be looking for a pass and then backs up towards the midfield, and takes a run out, has the stick in his right hand, switches to the left, gets by his defender, passes off, and a shot that goes in. A good hard shot by number 4 of the Raiders. Looks like the Tanners slid adjacently, and the Raiders found an open man and an easy goal for the Raiders. And they take the lead 4-3 with 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. The Tanners defense has been struggling today. They've only gotten one stop, and they need to get more stops here if they want to win this game. The Raiders have been scoring with ease thus far, and we'll see if the Tanners can stop that. And that starts with possessing the ball and not having any unforced turnovers by the Tanners. That last goal coming off of a forced turnover, a good Raiders defensive play, a solid check from the front, and then a hit from behind to knock the ball loose and give the Raiders possession. And the face-off, Pat Russo looked to win the clamp, but there's a loose ball right here, and we'll see who gets the ground ball. It gets kicked over to the Tanners side, and the Raiders pick up the ball, and they go straight towards the net, but then go behind the net. Here's number 16 with the ball, and he's defended by, that's number 7, Drew Lucas. Drew Lucas throws a couple checks, then backs off. Number 16 with the ball. Number 16, usually playing at midfield, dodges from midfield, has been going right to left and has some pretty good speed. So we'll see if we'll try to dodge on the sideline here. Look for him to dodge to his left. He passes up to number 11 with the ball. Number 11 guarded by number 24, Nick Ritchie. We'll see if Ritchie can play some good defense. Had the stick in his left hand, that switched to his right and dodges to his right, and a shot on the run, and looks like it either went wide or a deflected save by 33, Troy Kappas, senior goaltender for the Tanners. Here's number 8, guarded by number 34, Tyler Norman. Norman throws a couple of chucks and then a slap, and looked like it almost got him in the head, but it was a brush and didn't get him in the helmet there, so no penalty on the Tanners. And now here's number 16, dodges to his right and a shot on the run, but a whistle and an illegal screen on the Raiders, and it's going to be Tanner's ball. And number 28 for the Tanners passes up to number 7, Drew Lucas. Drew Lucas run up the right side of the field, finds Nick Patarelli in the middle of the field. Nick Patarelli looking for a pass, but then shoots in an easy save for the Raiders goaltender. Right in his stick, didn't have a lot of power on it. Probably should have held the shot there, but instead shoots, and the Raiders get the ball, and they clear with ease again. And the LSM for the Tanners looks gassed, not getting in the hole too quickly. And number 1 dodges right towards the net, gets stood up by Matt Murphy. Good solid defense by Matt Murphy to slow down the Raiders. And the Raiders push the ball back outside up to the midfield, and number 11 looks to dodge again. Here's number 11 for the Raiders, guarded by Nick Ritchie, giving him plenty of space. This 1-4-1 seems to be giving the Tanners a lot of trouble. Number 11 with the stick in his right hand goes to his right. Good D by Nick Ritchie. And a shot looks like a good lift by Ritchie. And the ball gets deflected up, and John Najjar fights for the ground ball. Goes off his foot, and it's Raiders ball. Number 11 with the ball passes up to number 16 at the top. And a far shot from outside and a goal. That was a good solid 15-yard shot, high-to-high shot. Gets past the goaltender and goes top left, and gives the Raiders a 2-goal lead with 23 seconds left in the first quarter. Now we're back at the face-off. Pat Russo's really kept his team in it thus far to get the possession for the Tanners. The defense hasn't been able to get a good solid stop, and we're going to look for that to change here as the first quarter comes to an end. And there's a whistle, a play on, and there's a clamp on the Raiders, and it's going to be Tanner ball. And here's Matt Murphy with the ball, passes off to Nick Patarelli. 13 seconds left in the game clock. Patarelli with the ball, gets a touch, dodges to his left, brings it back outside, passes off to Drew Lucas, and a bounce shot and a good save by the goaltender. And that was Connor McCarron tried to smack it in, and that's the end of the first quarter. A close call for the Raiders, and the Tanners almost got a goal within the last few seconds of the first quarter, but the Raiders maintain a 5-3 lead against the Tanners.
Steve Jobs once said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." What does it take to be a leader? It requires dedication, determination, and experience. At Greyvock, the motto is, "Our business is your success." We lead together. We lead with our community, with our customers. We believe innovation is a team effort. We merge design and technology as one company with many solutions. Peabody is a city with a storied legacy of industry and innovation. Greyvock is proud to continue writing that story as we grow alongside our great city. Visit our website to learn more about our diverse services and opportunities as we celebrate 24 years of business, a quarter century of innovation.
And here at the start of the second quarter, oh, there's a flag already. It looks like a stick check on Connor McCarron, and that's going to be a tough penalty for the Tanners. Connor McCarron got his stick checked by the referees between quarters, and that's a penalty on Connor McCarron. Real unfortunate penalty there. Tanners switching goaltenders here. Austin Leggett, the usual starting goaltender, coming in for Troy Kappas. And the Raiders are going to get the ball to start this quarter. And that's not good for the Tanners, who need a stop here. Kevin, how long is that penalty? Locked in? Tanners penalty on Connor McCarron, 3 minutes locked in for an illegal stick. Illegal stick. Illegal procedure, whatever. And here's the Raiders looking to capitalize on a 3-minute locked-in penalty by the Tanners. Real unfortunate penalty to happen against the Tanners. It's 3 minutes locked in. Raiders can score as much as they want, and the penalty will only expire. 9 minutes left in the second quarter. So Tanners had a good, solid penalty kill. Oh, and a shot hits the pipe. And a crease violation on the Raiders. A very soft shot on the crease because the Raider got hit pretty hard by his defender, and the ball just barely nicked the pipe, but he went into the crease, and that's the Tanners' ball. And that's a timeout white after Austin Leggett held the ball for a little too long. Hard ride by the Raiders, and Tanners will have the ball after burning a timeout. 11 minutes, 28 seconds left in the second quarter, and that means 2 minutes, 28 seconds left in the Tanner penalty. Tanner's looking to capitalize on this opportunity here. Hopefully they'll be able to clear the ball and then kill off this penalty and then get back to even strength and start pumping in goals.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. The pressure's too much. I quit.
I get it. I can do better. Just please, don't leave.
Don't let your heart quit on you. Get your uncontrolled high blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late.
And after that timeout by the Tanners, Peabody's going to have the ball, and Colby Therrien's going to have the ball pretty much at goal line extended right by the goal line for the Tanners. Looks like they're going to have the Tanners try to leg it up. Mason Zuley going over half and looks to find Jack Holden coming over the sideline and gets the ball and gets by his defender. Jack Holden, a solid clear by the Tanners, a good invert, and Jack Holden comes across midfield, stays on sides, and gets the ball to clear for the Tanners. And now Keenan Madden with the ball and gets pressured and throws the ball away. Ball goes out of bounds. Tanners only killing about 25 seconds of that penalty, and the Raiders get the ball at about the 40-yard line, try to clear the ball. Keenan Madden playing defense here, try to get a deflection or something, and Raiders get the ball on the sideline. And Raiders have the ball pass up, easy clear by 16, goes through his legs, picks up the easy ground ball, no pressure there. Here's 16 for Lowell, 16 with the ball, passes up top and a drop pass by 11, but easy ground ball because Tanners are staying sloughed in, seeing as they're man down. Raiders move the ball around. Raiders get top side, and a solid save by Austin Leggett. Good body save by Leggett, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it remains Raiders' ball. Raiders with the ball behind the X. 2 men behind the X of the Raiders. One clears out. Dodges to the left side of the net. Raiders shooting from left to right, and a deflected crease pass by Drew Lucas, and he goes to fight for a ground ball, but a ground ball by the Raiders maintains possession for Lowell. Now here's number 5 for the Raiders. Runs up. Good check by Drew Lucas. And now Passes back off the 16. Solid defense so far by the Tanners, and they find a man right in the middle, and a good save by Leggett again. Leggett keeping the Tanners in this game early in the second quarter. Gets the ball and passes up to number 34, Tyler Norman, who misses the pass, but picks up his own ground ball and has a little time and room. Gets in the box and passes off to, I believe that's, oh, and a Tanners goal. Not sure who that was. That looks like Nick Patarelli. No, that was Keenan Morgan. Gets a pass from Tyler Norman, who got a clearing pass from Austin Leggett, and the Tanners score while they're man down. That last Tanners goal scored by number 11, Keenan Morgan, assisted by number 34, Tyler Norman. And here's Pat Russo at the faceoff X again. Hopefully get possession for the Tanners, seeing as they're still man down for 56 seconds, and they got Matt Murphy on the wing, going to try to fight for a ground ball. Russo loses the clamp this time, but then Lowell misses the ground ball, and Pat Russo fighting for the ground ball, and Lowell finally picks up the ground ball, and Russo took a little dive there after the Lowell Raider got around him, and an easy clear for the Raiders after a close call for ground balls. And now here's number 16 of the Raiders, he kind of fakes a shot there, looked like he was going to shoot, then pulls out and waits for his personnel, seeing as there's about 25 seconds left in their walked-in penalty from an illegal procedure on an illegal stick by Connor McCarron. And here's Lowell working the ball around. As soon as they catch, they're looking for a pass and moving it quick, which is what you want to see from a man down. An outside shot from the side and another save by Austin Leggett. That's either his third or fourth save of the quarter and of the game, seeing as he was not playing in the first quarter. And Austin Leggett bombs it down the middle of the field, and Keenan Madden picks up the ball for the Tanners. Now Keenan passes off to Jack Holden, and they have cleared that 3-minute locked-in penalty with no goals, keeping within one goal of the Lowell Raiders. And here's Jack Holden behind the net at X. Jack Holden waiting to get his personnel on the field, rolls around his defender, gets a step on him, doesn't go towards the net, passes off to another attackman over there. That'd be Colby Therian. Colby Therian with the ball brings it back behind net. Colby Therian with the stick in his left hand, dodges to his left, gets around his defender, but stumbles. He still has the ball in his stick, and it's knocked away by a Raider. And a good hit by Mason Zulli, but the Raider maintains possession. And he looks like he's going to try to clear it himself, and he does get it over midfield, but is tightly contested by Mason Zulli, who's riding his hips right now and trying to prevent him from getting a touch. And that's a timeout, Lowell. Good solid timeout. Looked like Mason was playing some good hard D on the Lowell Raider without trying to get him to get a touch in the box. But the Raider coach recognized that and called the timeout. Timeout, Lowell. Eight minutes and 15 seconds left in the second quarter. Lowell Raiders 5, Peabody Tanners 4. And the Raiders get the ball outside of the box, guarded by Drew Lucas, freshman LSM. Good emerging player there, smart player, athletic player, and a solid player all around. And they missed a pass on a contested ground ball. It's picked up by 11 on the Raiders, but good D by the Tanners. That's number 28 on the Tanners. That's Nick Vecchio with the ball and has the ball rolled back, tries to go around his guy, and he passes off to Nick Patarelli, who misses the ball, hits off the Lowell's foot, and there's still a ground ball here. And now that's Nick Vecchio again, gets the ball and does a little behind the back pass before he went out of bounds. And the Lowell Raiders pick up the ground ball, drop it again, and a good ride by the Tanners. The ball is down again, and now the ball is up, goes towards the Lowell defender, and the Lowell Raiders finally get possession, and they shoot it down the field, misses their defender, but then gets by an attacker for the Raiders, but misses the ball. Could have been a one-on-one with the goalie, and the Raiders have possession. Matt Murphy playing defense behind the net, and a fake pass by the Raider. Matt Murphy bit on it for a second, look back, and then an actual pass to the sideline and back up to the top of the box. The Lowell Raiders with the ball. Here's the Raiders playing D. That's number 24. That'd be Nick Ritchie. Goes to the right side, and another save by Austin Leggett. And John Najjar fights for a ground ball. It's 1-on-5, 5 being with the Lowell, and the ball gets kicked out, and another more of a fight. And Lowell picks up the ball and then goes up, and Nick Ritchie picks up the ball and runs up the sidelines. Nick Ritchie looks to have a fast break and is closely contested by a Raider, and he passes off the ball right before the Lowell Raider got to him, pass to Nick Patarelli, and the ball bounces off his stick, rolls out of bounds, and it's Raider ball behind the Raider net. A close call. Nick Ritchie almost got caught from behind through a poor pass to Nick Patarelli, and it went off his stick and out of bounds. And now the Raider goaltender with the ball, jogging up the field, looks to find the midfielder right in the middle of the field, does, and the Raiders clear again with ease. Solid D there by Tyler Norman, but Raiders pull it out, settle it down, and look to dodge now on number 15, Michael Panzini. Panzini plays solid defense, but Raiders pass it back down behind the net. John Najjar playing defense on number 5, throws in a couple pokes, and the defender goes down, but there's a flag down. A shoulder by Najjar, and the Lowell Raider gets by a shot, throws a shot on net, good solid shot, and a solid save by Austin Leggett, and John Najjar goes to the box. Peabody penalty, number 8, John Najjar, 30-second technical. Tanners are man down, and after killing off that 3-minute locked-in penalty without any goals, they should be looking to kill this 30-second penalty off as well. Although arguably one of their better defenders is in the box here rather than an attackman. So we'll see if the Tanners can kill this penalty, and Lowell starts with the ball on the top right and passes back down behind the net. Raiders shooting from left to right. Raiders swing the ball around. The ball gets back up to the top of the field, and now they look to dodge. Passes back off to the opposite side. Now they passes back up the midfield. Number 11 with the ball, looks to shoot. He does, and he shoots, but a 15-yard shot. Number 11 gets a goal there. 6-4 Raiders with 5 minutes and 34 seconds left in the second quarter. A hard shot, low shot, didn't bounce, just high to low shot, and gets by Austin Leggett for the Raiders' first goal of the second quarter. Here's Pat Russo in the face-off X with Ryan Ferra and Nick Vecchio on the wings trying to get the ground ball. Ball is down, whistle blows, and Pat Russo fights with the clamp and wins it towards the Tanner side. Nick Vecchio kicks the ball around and picks up the ground ball and throws it before he gets out of bounds. Jack Holden catches the ball, but a timeout Tanners. Timeout Peabody. Nick Vecchio almost ran out of bounds, but got the pass away to Jack Holden, and it was a low pass with Jack Holden corralled it, maintained possession, allowing for head coach Greg Welch to call a timeout on the sidelines with 5 minutes and 22 seconds left in the second quarter.
A full life measured in seats starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
And Lowell start with the ball, Tanner start with the ball, shooting from right to left, have the ball on the far side of the field, holding with the ball. Almost gets tripped up by his defender, rolls back and gets some separation and looks to pass out to, that's 25, that's Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith with the ball, passes to Colby Therian, passes down to Ryan Farah, who looks to pass to Keenan Madden, but Keenan Madden sets the pick and Farah brings it behind the net. Farah looks to dodge on his defender. Farah with the stick in his left hand, switches to his right, looks to find Keenan Madden in the crease, but gets by him. Nick Patarelli with the ground ball. Nick's double teamed here and he loses the ball, and the Raiders pick up the ground ball and get around a defender, get around a second defender, but doesn't get around the trailing defender there, and a ground ball down. Looks to be Peabody ball. That's Trevor Smith with the ball. He had possession and was pushed from behind. That looks to be a push of possession, which would be a 30-second technical. We'll see what the refs call. Either way, Tanner's a man up. Looks like a 1-minute cross check by number 22 on the Raiders. Lowell penalty, 1-minute cross check. Now the Tanners man up now. And that's Ryan Farah, passes down to Jack Holden, who passes over to Connor McCarron. Connor McCarron with the ball passes up to Colby Therian. 1-minute cross-checking penalty on the Raiders resulted in a Peabody man-up attempt. And now Ryan Farah has the ball, passes back down to Jack Holden, who passes over to Connor McCarron, who runs up to the right side, fakes a shot, then passes back to Jack Holden. Jack Holden passes to Colby Therian. And Colby Therian with the shot on the run on the crease scores low and away. And the Tanners are now within one again with 4 minutes and 5 seconds left in the quarter. That last Tanners goal scored by number 2, Colby Therian, assisted by number 12, Connor McCarron.
Hey, let's go, Murph. Go to the net, kid. Go, Pat.
Pat Russo with Matt Murphy and Nick Vecchio on the wings. Been a pretty good contest tonight at the face-off X. We'll see who wins this one. Russo been winning the clamp most of the times, but Lowell been scrappy on the ground balls and definitely winning the ground ball war. Russo wins the clamp again, wins it behind him, but Lowell gets the ground ball, but a solid check by Vecchio. But the Lowell Raider picks up the ball again, and a shot on the run misses wide, and that's going to stay Raiders' ball. Now Raiders with the ball, far right side of the field, shooting from left to right. Raiders on the right side of the field, passes up to the middle of the field on top of the box. And number 1 of the Raiders with the ball. Number 1 just walking around. Now he looks to set up a dodge, sticking his right hand, stays to his right hand. Good solid D by Matt Murphy once again. Switches over to his left hand on a rollback and passes up to the top of the box. Now it's number 16, who's been a dangerous midfielder for the Raiders, and he's played by Nick Vecchio here. Vecchio, solid D, but a nice bull dodge by 16 on the Raiders, and a good hit by Nick Ritchie, but they get him for a penalty. Probably a late hit called, but after a bull dodge that sent Nick Vecchio stumbling and eventually falling to the ground, Ritchie hits him, shot went wide, and that's looks like a 1-minute illegal body check on Nick Ritchie. Tanner's penalty, 1-minute illegal body check. Now the Raiders look to set up shop, see if they can get a man-up goal here. They had a man-up goal last time on a 30-second technical by Najjar. And three Lowell cut to the net, but it shoots back up to number 16, who misses a crease pass, and the ball's in the middle. He shoots up, and Austin Leggett gets the ball. Austin Leggett clears it up to Drew Lucas, but overthrows him just a little bit, and now Lowell Raiders gets the ball, loses it, and then kicks it over to a defender, and number 16 again with a bull dodge on Vecchio. Vecchio keeps his feet this time, and Vecchio stops ball, and the Raiders still have the ball at the top of the box on the near side of the field. Raiders with the ball. Raiders passing number 5. Number 5 bounces back to 16. 16 surveys the field. Skip passes over and looks to shoot. He does. And a save by Austin Leggett. Looked like he wasn't going to shoot, but he did have a solid shot. Austin Leggett makes a very solid save there. Clears the ball to the top right of the side. And Keenan Madden streaking for an open pass. A clean clear by the Tanners. And Keenan Madden with the ball. Passes up to Jack Holden. Jack Holden with the ball. Jack Holden surveys. Passes up to Mason Zuley. Mason Zuley pounces back to Jack Holden. Jack Holden looking around. Jack Holden running down the sideline of the field, kind of rolling about, picks up speed as a Lowell defender throws in a check, but Jack Holden switches hands, switches again, and keeps the ball and then passes up to Colby Therian on the side of the field. Colby Therian moves it to Mason Zuley. Mason Zuley passes to Ryan Farah. Ryan Farah with the stick in his right hand, running to his left. Dodges on his guy, stays to the right, gets top side. A shot goes wide, but good backup by the Tanners and stays Tanners ball with 1 minute 42 seconds left in the second quarter. Jack Holden with the ball. Tanners down by 1, looking to even up the score before halftime. Holden with the ball, passes up to Ryan Farah. Ryan Farah on the sideline, stick in his left hand. Looks to dodge. Dodges to his left, then rolls to his right. Looks and finds an open man on the crease, but a missed opportunity by Colby Therian. Ball goes out of bounds off the shot, and Jack Holden picks it up for the Tanners as they maintain possession. Jack Holden with the ball, dodges to his right, then back to his left, rolls, gets stripped, and the Raiders pick up the ground ball. Tanners in hot pursuit, trying to get him out of bounds, and looks like a timeout Raiders after a defender was hotly pursued with 1 minute and 16 seconds left in the second quarter.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
And the Lowell Raiders with the ball on the far side of the field, starting off at the 25-yard line. 16 showing the wheels all day and gets around Nick Vecchio. Vecchio trying to chase back on him. 16 with the ball. Good D by Nick Ritchie to stop ball and passes up to number 11. 11 at the top of the box. 11 looks to dodge on Nick Ritchie. Nick Ritchie backs up, and 11 takes a shot and saved by Austin Leggett. Good solid save by Leggett. He had to stretch out to make it, but Raiders get the rebound and move it back up. 16 passes to 1 near side of the field. Now number 4 in the sideline. Passes off to X, number 5. X attacking, works on John Najjar. Tries to get an inside roll, and a whistle blows, and good defense by Najjar to get his guy in the crease without pushing him in the crease, which would have been a play on. And John Najjar gets the ball and passes to his goaltender. Now Austin Leggett passes off to Colby Therian. Colby Therian catches the ball, looks to pass, but keeps running instead. Splits 2 defenders and is clear. And he's running quick up the field, trying to push it now. And now he's hit by a Raider, but maintains possession of the ball. Passes off to number 25, and a good leg save by the Raiders defender, and a ground ball by the Raiders, and they look to pick it up. Raiders with 14 seconds left, and he gets by the attackman for the Tanners. And now here's the Raiders. And here's number 4 of the Raiders. Played good defense by Drew Lucas. Good D by Drew Lucas, deflects the pass, picks up the ball, and that's the end of the first half. And we'll be back with an interview from the head coach, Greg Welch.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Coley Field. At halftime, we have the Lowell Raiders 6, Peabody Tanners 5, and here we have with us Peabody head coach Greg Welch. Greg, how can you guys get on the winning side of the field in the second half and win this game?
We're just going to win the GB battles. They dominated the GBs, and we're only down 1. So if we can fix that, be more aggressive on the GBs, we'll have more possessions and we'll put more goals. And that's as simple as that. Lacrosse is a simple sport, and more possessions, more goals, you win.
And leading on to that, Pat Russo's done a great job on the face-offs today. How can the wing play improve a little and pick up those ground balls that are contested by the Raiders today?
It's just heart and hustle. You know, it's knowing Pat's winning the clamp. It's just you need to follow the butt end, have a little space, and anticipate. And like I said, and just work harder than them.
Any final comments to win the game today?
Pat, score more goals than them.
That's That's right. That's the key to the sport. All right, that was head coach Greg Welch, and we'll be back in a few minutes for the beginning of the second half. Thank you.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
And welcome back to Coley Lee Field. Start of the second half, we have Lowell Raiders 6, Peabody Tanners 5. And at the face-off X, we have Pat Russo for the Tanners. Been winning the clamp all night, but Tanners need some stronger wing play to pick up more ground balls. And as Coach Welch said at halftime, Tanners need to score more goals than the Raiders to win this game. So we'll see if they can do just that, and we'll see if that'll start off with picking up the ground ball. Is also another point that Coach Welch said they need to win the ground ball battle. So far, the Raiders have been winning it. And once again, a toughly contested clamp, and they call a hold on the Raiders. And Drew Lucas of the Tanners picks up the ball and passes off to Jack Holden. Jack Holden with the ball, gets his touch and goes behind the net and looks back up, passes to Nick Patarelli. Nick Patarelli with the ball on the left side of the field. Tanners shooting from left to right. Patarelli annoyed by number 12 by the D and gets around him, but then brings it back out. Patarelli, top of the field, passes off to number 4, Mason Zulli. Mason Zulli with the ball here. Mason going from the left side of the field to the right, pass to Colby Therian. Colby Mason switch here. Colby Therian sticking his left hand, looks to dodge. Colby Therian goes down the alley. Colby Therian with a shot on the run, bounces and misses, but Nick Patarelli with the backup to keep it Tanner's ball. Nick Patarelli taking it on the sideline. Nick Patarelli with the ball, passes up to Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith with the ball here, passes back to Patarelli, who passes off to Holden behind the net. Holden switches to his right hand, looks to change the side of the field. Thinks twice about it, might be looking for a dodge here, stick in his left hand, rolls to his right, and good D by the Raiders. Looks to be a hold, gets a flag for it, and Holden still has the ball, rolls back to his left hand, goes back behind the cage, tries to find a Tanner wide open about 7 yards away. That was Keenan Madden, and Keenan misses the pass. It was low and away anyway, and the Tanners are going to be man up here against the Raiders with 10 minutes, 54 seconds left in the second quarter. Lowell penalty, 30-second hold. Now here's Ryan Farrow with the ball on the top right side of the field. Pass to Colby Therian, who bounces back to Farrow, who passes off to Holden behind the net on the right side of the field, then passes back to Connor McCarron, who has the ball and passes off to Holden. Holden looks for multiple cutters for the Tanners, but a good job by the Raiders. Now Holden fakes a pass and brings it back up. Now passes to Ryan Farrow, and he follows through, hits a Raider in the helmet, and no penalty there because he was a follow-through shot. Bounces in between the goaltender's legs, and the Tanners tie the game with 10 minutes, 34 seconds left in the second quarter. Who scored that? Ryan Farrow. Was it really? That last Tanner goal scored by number 17, Ryan Farrow, unassisted. Now we got Pat Russo on the face-off X again, and the clamp goes down, and looks to be another hold, but they don't call it, and the Raiders pick up the ground ball, and they look to push a fast break, get a touch, and then settle it back outside. Drew Lucas playing defense, and number 16 for the Raiders. 16 for the Raiders has been doing a great job getting open shots and getting space with the use of his speed and athleticism. And we'll see if he can do that again here. Number 16 with the ball, didn't even pass the ball off the ground ball, but is setting up for a dodge. Dodge down to the right side, good D by Drew Lucas, passes off behind the net. Now they're switching sides of the field. Number 8 passes up to 11, 11 with the ball. Nick Ritchie playing defense on him, sticking his right hand, tries to dodge to his right, swim dodge, and it goes back to his right, and a wild shot that goes above the net. Good backup by the Raiders, and you could argue if that was a shot or not because it was so far off, but it was as the ref saw it, and it's Raiders ball. Now the Raiders have the ball at the top of the box. Number 1 pass to number 16. 11, 16, and 1, the top midfield line for the Raiders. And now 11 with the ball passes off to number 8, the attackman. Played by Tyler Norman, and he thinks about dodging, then skip passes to number 16. 16 with the ball passes off to number 1. Number 1 at the top of the box. Number 1 passes off to an attackman on the far side of the field. Passes back up to 16, drops the ball, easy ground ball coming here. No one on him that far out. Number 16 with the ball, stick in his right hand, passes off to number 1. Number 1 pass to number 4, the attackman on the far side of the field, and the Raiders swing it behind next to number 5. Played by John Najar on defense. He rolls around and puts a stick in his left hand, and good D by John Najar to poke the ball loose, and a contested ground ball, but goes to the Raiders. Raiders pick up the loose ball, passes up to the midfield, and here's number 16 again. Drew Lucas playing defense on him. 16 runs hard to his right, goes to shoot, but a little lollipop behind him, and Austin Leggett comes out of the goaltender, picks up the ground ball and looks to shoot, pass it up to Nick Ritchie, and gets by him, and Nick Ritchie staying with it and goes for a ground ball but misses it. Now Keenan Magin trying to fight off number 1, who picked up the ground ball and passes up to 16. Easy clear for Lowell Raiders. Now 16 got the ball, gets his touch, and he has the ball here. 16 with that unbelievable speed to get by Drew Lucas. Passes to 11 and skips on the ground, and that goes out of bounds off the Raiders. Good hustle by number 11. Sorry, that was number 8. He gets the ball, and Matt Murphy gets the ball around the 35-yard line, passes up to Drew Lucas. Drew Lucas catches the ball, and the Tanners clear. Drew Lucas passes off to Keenan Madden. Keenan with the ball, passes off to Jack Holden playing attack. A hard cut by Matt Murphy towards the net, and Matt Murphy gets off the field after calling for the ball. Now Jack Holden passes up to Colby Therian. Colby Therian near side of the field at the top of the box. Colby Therian taking his time. Tie game here. 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Colby Therian passes up to the midfielder. That's Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith with the ball. Trevor thinks about dodging, thinks about passing, then passes off to Ryan Farrer, who passes off to Keenan Madden. Keenan Madden with the ball, passes behind the net to Nick Patarelli. Nick Patarelli, a little dodge, gets by his defender, looks to pass though, doesn't look to shoot. He's behind GLE, switches hands to his right, then goes back to up, and a solid check by the Lowell defender, and a ground ball here. There's a scrum going on, and it looks to, and the ball's still down. 25 picks it up, scoops it behind him, and we'll see what the red calls. Oh, and he calls, and as you can hear, the crowd does not like that call. The 25 on Lowell clearly scooped the ball from his stick and threw it behind him with no contact coming from the Tanners. But the refs usually see a completely different game than the audience does, as do the players, and Lowell gets the ball to clear. Number 25 with the ball, gets by Colby Therian. Number 25 clears the ball, and he's on the other side of the field in the Tanners zone. Drew Lucas playing defense on him, passes off to number 11, who gets the ball. Trevor Smith playing D. 11 thinks about dodging, but settles it back out just to get a touch. Number 11 with the ball. Lowell taking their time, making sure they're getting set up in their 1-4-1, looking like a 2-3-1 now, as they have 2 midfielders up top, but they have 1 guy in the middle of the crease and 2 attackmen. Now they're putting 4 in the crease here. We're making a lot of cuts, and number 1 has the ball, and he looks to dodge around the side of the net, passes up to number 8, who catches the ball. Close thing there, and then bounces it back to number 1, who bounces it back to 16 behind the net, who tries to run by Drew Lucas, then switch to his offhand, and a shot bounces wide, but number 1 with a good catch, pass to number 5 in the middle of the crease, and scores, giving the Lowell Raiders a 7-6 lead. A good heads-up play by number 1 to catch the rebound off the bounce, and a good heads-up play by number 1 again to find number 5 open in the crease to give the Raiders a 7-6 lead. 6 minutes and 25 seconds left in the second quarter. That goal coming off of the very questionable call by the referees. The ref closest to him thought there was a deflection and thought it went off Peabody, but we disagree here at Peabody Access Television, and it's now 7-6 Lowell, and that's illegal procedure on Pat Russo, and that's going Raiders ball. Raiders get the ball again, and Tanners are looking to get a stop here. Number 19 with the ball. And he looks to get a touch. Drew Lucas playing defense on him. Gets his touch. Drew Lucas playing some tight D now. And he passes off to the attackman. Goes off the top of his stick and out of bounds. And John Najar looks to clear the ball. John Najar behind the net has the ball. John taking his time. 5 playing good defense on him. Passes off to Austin Leggett, the goalie. Austin passes to number 2, Colby Therian. Colby Therian with the ball, gets it, and he's legging it now. He had an open man, but he is legging it now, and tightly contested by number 19 on the Raiders, but then passes off to Nick Patarelli. Connor McCarron passes to Jack Holden. Jack Holden with the ball behind the net. Holden passes back to, that was Keenan Madden, not Connor McCarron. Keenan Madden looks to pass, but doesn't get through, but good backup by Trevor Smith, who gets the ball and saves it from an over or back call. And Trevor Smith with the ball passes off to Patarelli. Patarelli passes to Holden behind the net. Holden with the ball, surveying the field. Passes off to Madden. Keenan Madden with the ball, passes up top to Mason Zulli, who passes to Trevor Smith in the middle of the field. Smith passes to Colby Therian. Colby Therian with the ball, looks to dodge, stick in his left hand. Tries to go to the left hand, gets a step on his defender, but good adjacent slide by Lowell to make Therian go step out and try again. Therian with the ball again, sticking his left hand, looks to dodge again against number 17, the long pole. Goes to his right, rolls to his left, gets by another defender, but drops his stick. But good ground ball by Patarelli, but then he trips and misses it. A Lowell defender missed it, and now the Lowell picked it up, and they're running up the ball, and a good stick check by the Tanners. And that's going Tanner's ball. A good solid stick check by Colby Therian to yard sail the defender as he was getting pushed out of bounds. It gave him no hope to throw the ball and keep it in bounds. And now Trevor Smith has the ball at the 35-yard line looking to clear. Trevor Smith clears to Colby Therian. Colby Therian with the ball. Tanner's looking to even the score here in the third quarter. Colby Therian with the ball. Tanners get their touch. And Therian still with the ball far side of the field, brings it down the alley and behind the net. Therian taking his time here, trying to get a good look on the dodge against number 16. Therian sticking his left hand, fakes the right and then goes to the left, then goes back to the right and goes back to the left where the slide came from, and a solid check and a ground ball by Lowell passes off to the goalie, and the Raiders look to clear. Good solid slide by the Raiders there. Got the ball loose from Therian, and good backup, good 3 slide there from the midfielder to get the ground ball. And now the Raiders outlet pass to the defender, get balls on the ground, now ball's up, and we'll see what happens. A whistle, and that's white ball. A call goes to Tanner's way, and the Raiders fail to clear, and Mason Zulli will have the ball at the Lowell 45-yard line and look to even the score at 7. Mason Zulli with the ball, sticking his right hand, goes towards his right, looks to pass and not shoot, then goes back to his left, switches back to his right, and passes off to Jack Holden behind the net. Holden with the ball, goes to his right, dodges to his left, looking for a pass. Then inside roll on his defender, passes behind the net to Madden. Madden with the pass up top to Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith with a long shot and a good save by the Lowell goalie. About a knee-high shot on the goalie, and goaltender had to move quick to make that save there on Trevor Smith, but he did indeed make it. Now the Raiders try to clear the ball. Raider goaltender with the ball about the 35-yard line. He keeps walking it up. Now he passes to a midfielder, but the ball is out. But number 1 attacking on the Lowell Raiders picks up the ball, and the Raiders have cleared the ball. Have not gotten their touch inside the box yet, but they look to do so now. And good defense by Drew Lucas to break up a pass, and he picks up the ground ball and turns upfield with the ball, sticking in his left hand. Now he's looking to roll back, but doesn't, instead confuse his attack on Ryder and finds a wide open Mason Zulli at midfield, and Mason Zulli looks to push. Mason Zulli passes off to Nick Patarelli, a bounce shot and a solid save by the Lowell goalie, who's way outside of his net here and runs back into his net, but a good ground ball by the Lowell Raiders, and the Lowell Raiders pick up the ball. And Jack Holden running real hard, and a nice solid check by Jack Holden, and now there's a contested ground ball that Trevor Smith picks up, and he looks to leg the ball back for the Tanners. Trevor passes up to Jack Holden. Jack Holden with the ball. A back and forth contest here the past few minutes, and Peabody maintaining the majority of the possession after some failed clears from the Lowell Raiders. Peabody's still not doing too well on ground balls, but they have been maintaining possession more consistently here. Now Ryan Farrer dodges to his left, rolls back, looks to pass, skip passes to Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith on the ball. He thought about dodging, but didn't dodge.
Dog, ain't got nothing on you, Trevor.
And a yellow call from the Tanners to get the right personnel on, with Colby Therian coming on the field in substitution for Nick Ritchie. Now Colby Therian with the ball. Therian passes off to Ryan Farrer. Ferrer with the ball, far side of the field, stick in his right hand, looks to dodge. Ferrer dodges to the right, trying to get top side. Swim dodges and puts a stick in his left hand, pass off to Patarelli. Patarelli catches the ball, but then loses it as he was too far below the net. Number 25 for the Raiders gets the ground ball and looks to clear upfield. Trevor Smith playing defense on him, and a solid ride by Trevor Smith. And there's a call here. We aren't sure what the call is. Timeout, Lowell. And after a little bit of confusion on the field and a real good hustle play by Trevor Smith to knock the ball loose, the referees say that Lowell called a timeout before they lost possession, and it'll be Lowell ball at the Lowell 44-yard line with 1 minute and 26 seconds left in the third quarter. Raiders 7, Tanners 6.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
And welcome back to Coley Lee Field, the Veterans Memorial Stadium. Lowell will have the ball about their 45-yard line. Ref backs him back up to the 44, and that's number 16 looking to blow by Nick Patarelli. Nick hopefully will get a good stop, good ride. And he runs towards the middle of the field and gets by. Good swim dodge, but a good check by Nick Vecchio. 16 mains possession, gets his touch, and Nick Vecchio playing D on him. And here's 16, passes off to number 1, the attackman, played by Matt Murphy. Now passes down to number 4, played by Drew Lucas. Passes down to number 5, played by John Najjar. John Najjar throws a couple pokes behind the net. Number 5 passes off to number 8, played by Tyler Norman, passes up to number 11, played by Nick Ritchie. Then passes back up to number 1, far side of the field. Lowell shooting from right to left. Lowell really taking their time here and looking to get a look that they like. Here's number 11, sticking his right hand, dodges on Nick Ritchie. Nick Ritchie, good defense, and sends 11 back to the top of the box. Number 11 keeps the ball. One hand cradle in his right hand, tries to run by Nick Ritchie, gets an inside move on him, and still has the ball, but good slide by Drew Lucas and good recovery by Nick Ritchie, and good team defense by the Tanners. Now here's Drew Lucas playing defense on number 11, one of the top scorers for the Raiders, and good defense by Lucas as number 11 looked to shoot at a bad angle position and thought better of it. And here's number 11 behind the X, played by Drew Lucas. Drew Lucas with the ball. Almost a pick, and good D by Drew, but an inside roll by 11, and a shot missed wide, and stays Raiders ball with 1 second left in the period. 11 had a golden opportunity there to give the Raiders a 2-goal lead, but now they got 1 second to try to score, and the horn sounds, and at the end of the third quarter, the Lowell Raiders lead the Peabody Tanners 7-6. 1 quarter left to play here, the fourth quarter, and the Tanners need to win this to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
And at the start of the fourth quarter, here at Coley Lee Stadium, we have the Lowell Raiders 7, Peabody Tanners 6. 12 minutes of gameplay left, and a lot of time for either team to pump more goals in the net. And we'll see what Pat Russo can do on the face-off X with Matt Murphy and Drew Lucas on the wings. And we'll see if the Tanners can get possession and tie up the game. Ball set, stick set. Ref backs out, blows the whistle, and Russo again wins the clamp. Russo and a hold on Lowell. That's been happening all night. And Drew Lucas picks up the ball and passes up to Jack Holden. Jack Holden popping out from behind the X, go to the far side of the field. Tanner shooting from right to left. Now here's Jack Holden with the ball, brings it behind net and rolls to his left hand and gets a step on his defender. Now Jack Holden, nice duck dodge. He's ducked right under the defender's stick, right behind the trailing check, and shoots it by the Lowell goaltender to tie the game at 7, 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That last Tanner's goal, scored by number 20, Jack Holden, unassisted. Pat Russo looking to win a face-off either cleanly or by default from the call the ref's giving him. And we'll see what happens here. Ball's down, stick set, ref backs out, and whistle blows, and Lowell wins the clamp this time, rakes it back and wins it to himself. Number 9 of the Raiders wins the face-off and ground ball, gets his touch, and rolls back out to find a helpful midi. A little awkward bounce pass to number 1, and the Lowell Raiders have the ball and looking to set up to gain a lead again. Now here's number 16 of the Raiders. 16 passes off to 11, far side of the field. Lowell shooting from left to right. Passes off to number 8, played by Tyler Norman. Passes up to number 11, who passes up to 16, who's guarded by Drew Lucas. Passes over to number 1, guarded by Matt Murphy. Matt Murphy guards number 1. Murphy brings it behind the net. Looks like Murphy wants to dodge here. Murphy directly behind the net, sticking his right hand. Gets a step on Murphy. Shot and misses high and goes out of bounds. Raiders ball. Number 11 with the backup. Number 11 going to pick up the ball here. Number 11 stalling right now, guarded by Nick Ritchie. Nick Ritchie throws a little poke behind the net. Nick Ritchie gets around the pick. Solid D by Nick Ritchie, but the Lowell Raider gets a step on him. Goes through 2 other Peabody defenders and beats Austin Leggett stick high to give the Raiders another lead. 8-7 Raiders lead with 10 minutes 36 seconds left in the game. Good solid D by Nick Ritchie initially, but a slide came a little late, started swinging at sticks, and number 11 for the Raiders just blew by 2 other defenders and put the ball in the back of the net for the Raiders. Number 23 versus 29 at the face-off X. Pat Russo wearing number 23, and we'll see if he can win possession for the Tanners to let them tie the game again. Tanners have not led in this game. Each time they've tied it, the Raiders have gained a lead again. So Murphy wins the clamp, but good solid D. But Nick Vecchio with a good ground ball and passes to Nick Patarelli. Now Patarelli with the ball brings it behind the net, near side of the field. Patarelli gets a step on his defender. Patarelli switches to his left hand, switches back to his right, and catches his defender on the opposite side of the net. Passes off to Colby Therian, and a good save by the Raider goalie. Passed to Colby Therian cut on the run, and shot it, and the keeper had to make an off-hip save to stop Therian from scoring a goal. Now the Raiders clear the ball, and the Raiders have the ball, bringing it up the field. Number 12, long pole, gets a shot, and he's caught in a 2-on-1. Drew Lucas passes to number 4. Number 4 misses it, and it's a ground ball won by Lowell, and number 4 with the ball. And both defenders get off of number 4, but he doesn't recognize that no one was covering him, so he just passed it off to number 11. Could have been an easy shot attempt by number 4, as both John Najjar and Drew Lucas just went off of the guy with the ball because they each thought that each other was having him. Now John Najjar playing number 5 behind the net. Number 5 passes up to number 8, who passes to number 1 at the top of the box, far side of the field. Number 1 passes to 16, played by Nick Vecchio. Nick Vecchio with the ball, playing on number 16. 16 has gotten the better of Nick Vecchio so far, but Nick Vecchio throws a couple slap checks in there on the far side of the field, outside of the box. Brings it back into the box behind the net, dodges to his right up the alley, and a shot on the run misses wide, and good backup by I believe that's number 1 of the Raiders, and the Raiders will maintain possession. 9 minutes, 4 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's number 1 with the ball, whistle blows, and play resumes. Matt Murphy playing number 1. Matt Murphy behind the net. A pick set by 16, gets through it easily. Number 1 gets a step on Matt Murphy, but Matt Murphy catches up, plays the hips on him, and no shot attempt is there. And here's number 1 with the ball again, passes up to number 8, who passes to 11 at the top of the box. 11 played by Nick Ritchie. Nick Ritchie shuffling over to the right. Nick Ritchie, good D on number 11, who tries a double swim move but falls down. Nick Ritchie stays on his feet, pushes it off, but number 11 maintains possession of the ball for the Raiders. Now they're behind the net. Number 11 with the ball, bull dodges through, and the ball comes loose and Solid D by the Tanners. The goalie had to come out to help Najjar for the ground ball, who doesn't end up getting it. Drew Lucas with the ball, misses the ground ball, and then Austin Leggett kicks the ball up with his stick to Matt Murphy. Matt Murphy with the fast break opportunity for the Tanners. Matt Murphy with the ball, passes off to Jack Holden. Jack Holden almost gets doubled there. They miss Nick Patarelli on the far side. Would have had an easy shot attempt right on the crease. Now Jack Holden with the ball. Jack Holden goes to his left hand, finds a streaking Kobe Tharian, who drops the ball, and now there's a ground ball, and it looks like it's going to be Lowell ball. Lowell picks up the ball, and the whistle blows, and there's a loose ball push on red going white ball. Number 19 drops the ball, and that would be Trevor Smith with the ball. Trevor Smith with the ball, near side, top of the box. Trevor Smith passes off to Mason Zulli. Mason Zulli corrals the ball, passes off to Kobe Tharian, far side of the field. Kobe Tharian sticking his left hand, dodges towards the net, and then pulls it back out, passes it back behind the necks. Now Nick Patarelli with the ball. Patarelli with the ball, looks to pass, passes up to Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith sticking his right hand, thinks about dodging, goes down the left side, dodges to the right, gets an open space, and a shot and a good save by the Lowell goaltender. Stays Tanner's ball. Now Nick Patarelli behind the net. Nick Patarelli with the ball. Pick coming for Patarelli. Patarelli goes off it, but good slide by the Raiders. Now Patarelli with the ball. Passes up to Kobe Tharian. Tharian has Zulli up top. Tharian thinks better of it. Zulli gets back down low. Tharian with the ball in his left hand. Nice little roll dodge to his right, but thinks better of it and brings the ball back outside and passes to Trevor Smith, who drops it but then corrals it easily. Trevor Smith with the ball in his right hand. Same dodge as last time to his right, but dropped it a little, allowing for Lowell for a good slide and no shot attempt there. Tanners maintain possession. Now Tharian with the ball. Tharian sticking his right hand, running down the alley. Kobe Tharian behind the net now. Sticking his left hand, goes towards his left to try to get around the net. He does, and he a split dodge, but then he drops the ball, and there's a ground ball in front of the net. And Nick Patarelli gets a bouncing ball, and Nick Patarelli brings it outside, but there's a whistle, and even though the Tanners had possession, the ref blew the whistle and potentially took some momentum away from the Tanners there, but Tanners maintain possession, and that's the important thing. Now Patarelli gets a step on his defender, switches back to his right hand, one-handed, a shot and a good goal by Patarelli. Put the stick in one hand as he dodged down the alley on the right side, put the stick in his right hand, good stick protection there, and then put it in his left hand the last second to get a bounce shot past the goaltender to even the score at 8 with 6 minutes and 19 seconds left in the game. That last Tanner goal scored by number 1, Nick Patarelli, unassisted. We got a time game here, a real back and forth contest, and the Tanners are looking to get their first lead of the night. 6 minutes, 19 seconds left in the game. Now Pat Murphy on the face-off X trying to get possession for the Tanners. Whistle blows. Another fight for the clamp. And number 16 of the Raiders has a clean fast break, a slide, but he gets through it, and a good save by Austin Leggett, a bounce shot that went off his thigh, and that's going to stay Raiders ball. A good scoring opportunity for the Lowell Raiders as it was a clean fast break. Number 16 went right by Tywin Norman's slide and had a clean shot on goal with no one on him, and it bounced and hit goaltender Austin Leggett in the thigh, ricocheted out of bounds, and stayed Lowell ball. Now number 5 goes to work on John Najjar, sends a good poke check his way, and then moves the ball back up top. Number 11 played by Nick Ritchie. Number 11 passes off to number 1, who's played by Matt Murphy. Number 11 sticking his right hand, looks to dodge. Passes to number 4 instead, Drew Lucas playing him. Fake pass and then passes to number 5, played by Najjar. Number 5 passes the ball over to number 8, number 8 with the ball. Lowell going back to a conventional 2-3-1 offense here. Now number 8 passed to number 5 and just thought about running before he caught it and went right under his stick, and John Najjar picks up the ball for the Tanners after it goes out of bounds off a pass, and the Tanners look to clear the ball, maintain possession, and get a 1-goal lead on Lowell. Now John passes to Austin Leggett, who passes to the far box and finds Mason Zulli for a good solid clearing pass. Now Mason Zulli with the ball. Mason Zulli passes to Nick Patarelli, and a solid save by the goaltender, and there's a flag on the play. And it looks like it's going to be offsides on Lowell. It's going to be a 30-second penalty, man up for the Tanners. Lowell penalty, 30 seconds offside. Colby Therian with the ball. Looking to power his offense to a 1-goal lead. Excuse me, Jack Holden with the ball, passes up to Farah, who passes up to Therian. Therian passes back to Farah, Farah back to Holden. Holden the far side of the field behind the net, passes off to McCarron. Connor McCarron sticking his right hand, gets above GLE, passes back to Holden. Holden surveys the field, passes to Colby Therian, and he just missed the net. He was right on the crease, and he had a low and away shot that missed the net wide by a few inches, but the Tanners maintain possession. Now Jack Holden with the ball. The ref keeps pointing back towards him, so he goes to the very corner of the field. Not sure why he had him do that, but Jack Holden with the ball here. Excuse me, Nick Patarelli with the ball. Passes to Holden. Holden with the ball. Passes back to Patarelli. Patarelli thinks about a shot. Again, excuse me, that's Holden. Patarelli from Holden. And Holden with the ball. Holden goes behind the net, and the Raiders kill off their penalty and are even. Now Holden with the ball. Holden looking to find a feed, but then gets by his defender and looks to find, and the pass goes by and gets to Ryan Farah, and then he passes to Colby Therian, who rips a shot top left corner on the goaltender, and the Tanners have their first lead of the night, 4 minutes, 11 seconds left in the game. Colby Therian with a rip of a shot, top left corner, and that gives the Tanners a solid lead there. That last Tanner goal scored by number 2, Colby Therian, assisted by number 17, Ryan Farah. Pat Russo on the face-off X. Let's see if he can get another possession. Get the Tanners to get a bigger lead than just a 1-goal lead here. Whistle blows. Looks like Murphy won the clamp. Murphy getting low, trying to rake it out. Rakes it out behind him, but number 1 of Lowell gets the ground ball in a fast break, but pulls it back outside. Drew Lucas in hot pursuit, and a nice check by Lucas, who gets the ground ball, rolls back, and passes to John Najjar, who looks up the field and passes to Matt Murphy, who misses a hit and misses a pass, and the ball keeps rolling, and Lowell ends up picking it up at their own end of the field. Now number 9 of Lowell with a nice swim dodge and tries to run through 3 Peabody Tanners, and he does, and that looks like a timeout Lowell, and that is a timeout Lowell. Timeout Lowell. Timeout Lowell. One would think they'd want to check number 9's stick after that, and that's what they already have. But he was swimming and throwing his stick all over the place, and it was a wonder the ball didn't fall out. But he maintained possession. The Lowell head coach calls a timeout. Now number 16 with the Raiders with the ball. 16 gonna try to clear it. Patarelli, Holden, and looks like Keenan Madden all gonna try to stop him here. They give him the right side of the field and he easily takes it, and the Raiders get an easy 5-yard clear, get a touch. And now Nick Vecchio playing defense on 16. throws a couple slap checks. 16 gets a step on him. Nick Vecchio right there though. Good D by Nick Vecchio. Goes to his right, gets another step on him, but Vecchio stays in front of him, and Vecchio is solid D. 16 passes off to number 4, who's played by Drew Lucas. Drew Lucas throws in a poke and another poke, and then he passes off to number 5, played by John Najjar. John Najjar throwing his own poke checks. John Najjar playing D on, but falls down, but the ball comes loose, and it's going white ball. It looked like an illegal screen on red, and it's white ball. And Drew Lucas with the ball on the near side of the field. Drew Lucas, a far pass to Colby Therian, rope to rope, and Therian gets the ball, blows by his defender, and clears for the Tanners. Now here's Colby Therian with the ball, gets his touch, and the Tanners set up their offense. Colby Therian tries to run by his guy. Number 3 had no idea where he went. Colby Therian with the shot, but he got checked and it went wide. Still a shot though, and good backup by Patarelli and Ferrer to maintain possession for the Tanners with 2 minutes 45 seconds left in the game. Now here's Nick Patarelli with the ball. Patarelli cradles, does a little hop step a couple times, goes off a pick set by Jack Holden and runs by his guy. He gets a step on his guy and a good slide by 17, but Patarelli gets by him and shoots a shot and goes wide, and Jack Holden with the backup. Jack Holden with the ball here, 2 minutes 31 seconds left in the game. Jack Holden behind the net, near side of the field. Jack Holden, cradle in his left hand, close to the end line, dodges to his right. Good defense by 25. Swim move by Holden, doesn't go, but a good scoop by Holden to pick the ball back up. And it looks like a timeout Tanners. Looked like Holden was going to get into trouble. Good solid defense by number 25 of Lowell. And Tanners call a timeout with 2 minutes 18 seconds left in the game. Timeout Tanners.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Steve Jobs once said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." What does it take to be a leader? It requires dedication, determination, and experience. At Greyvock, the motto is, "Our business is your success." We lead together. We lead with our community, with our customers. We believe innovation is a team effort. We merge design and technology as one company with many solutions. Peabody is a city with a storied legacy of industry and innovation. Greyvock is proud to continue writing that story as we grow alongside our great city. Visit our website to learn more about our diverse services and opportunities as we celebrate 24 years of business, a quarter century of innovation.
And after a Tanners timeout, 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in the game, and Tanners have the ball behind the net. Jack Holden picks up the ball, once again played by number 25 on defense. Once the hit hits the 2 minute mark, the Tanners are going to have to keep it inside the box, giving Lowell ample opportunity to check the ball away from the Tanners. Now Jack Holden with the ball. Jack Holden runs to his left. Jack Holden gets a few checks by number 25. Jack Holden gets by his defender, passes off to Patarelli. Patarelli with the ball, runs to his left again, played by number 12 on defense, and 2 minutes left in the quarter here in the game. Now Patarelli with the ball. Patarelli, good defense by 12. And illegal screen on Tanners, and it's going to be Raiders ball after only killing about 30 seconds off the clock. There's 1 minute and 50 seconds left, and gives the Raiders an opportunity to tie the game. Raiders with the ball, number 7 with the ball, the goaltender. 7 passes up the field to number 12, the defender, who misses the ball and misses the ground ball again, but 11 picks up the ground ball and tries to clear it himself. 11 with the ball, and good defense by Matt Murphy. He's riding him pretty good, but number 11 gets by him. Slide by Tyler Norman, and then number 11 still maintains possession, gets his touch, and passes up to number 16 at the top of the box. Number 16 at the 40, looks to dodge, stick in his right hand. Blows by Nick Vecchio, passes to the crease, gives it to number 4, and a save by Austin Leggett. What a save by Austin Leggett. And he bombs it down the left side of the field for Drew Lucas. Drew Lucas misses the pass and picks up the ground ball, and Drew Lucas gets a touch, but gets out of the box, and it's going to be Raiders ball. Drew Lucas thought he just needed to get a touch, forgot about the 2 minute rule, and gives the ball right over to the Raiders with 1 minute and 6 seconds left. Whistle blows, and timeout Tanners. Looks like it's going to be a timeout Tanners there. Timeout Tanners. Not sure whose ball it's going to be here. I don't know if he called a timeout in between whistle or when he had possession, but he did call a timeout, so we'll see whose possession it's going to be here.
Can I have one of those for the baby? Oh, awesome. Thank you.
And it looks to be Tanner's ball. Nick Patarelli picking up the ball. Looks like Coach Welch got the timeout in before Drew Lucas stepped out of the box. Now Nick Patarelli with the ball. He's currently outside of the box, played by number 25 on Lowell. Now here's Patarelli. The ref blows the whistle. Patarelli with the ball. Patarelli runs down the alley. Patarelli gets into the box, and he gets a step on number 25. Patarelli using his quickness. Now Patarelli slows down and brings it back up top. Patarelli still running away from his defender. Patarelli still inside the box, but a check by 25. Picks up the ground ball. Looks to have a fast break, but Ryan Farrow hustling back, trying to stop ball. Passes off to number 8. Good slide by Najjar, who passed to number 5. Swims over his guy, and what a save by Austin Leggett. Austin Leggett makes a point-blank save on number 5 and bombs it down the field, and that's going to be a fight for the ball. Looks like Jack Holden's going to win it. Jack Holden misses the initial ground ball attempt, but then picks up the next one, and the ref about 70 yards away blows the whistle, and it looks like it's going to be a push on Lowell and going Tanner's ball. The crowd's going crazy here with 29 seconds left in the game, and it looks like Colby Therian will have the ball for the Tanners, played by number 3 on defense for the Lowell Raiders. Now Colby Therian runs by. The goalie's starting to play defense on him. Colby Therian with the ball, rolls by him. Colby Therian has the ball. 1-goal lead for the Tanners. 15 seconds left in the game. Colby Therian staying behind the net. Now Colby Therian has the ball. He's taking his time, and they're triple teaming him now. Colby Therian still with the ball. He keeps rolling, and he keeps running away from the Lowell Raiders. Gets by 3 defenders. Colby Therian still with the ball. 2 seconds left, 1 second left, and the Peabody Tanners playoff hopes are still alive with 1 game remaining in the season against the Marblehead Wizards before the Tanners wrap up their regular season. Tanners win with the final score of 9-8, that lead being their only lead in the night, and that's the only lead they're going to need as the Peabody Tanners win on senior night. For those of you watching tonight, I'm Andrew Najjar with Peabody Access Television. We have Michael Blanding here filming the game, and we'd like to thank all the spectators here who came out to support the seniors. Yeah, you're on Peabody Access Television now. You can say hello. Yeah.
I would just like to say hi. Yep, that's all.
That's Sarah Buckley right there.
I just want to say that both Peabody girls and boys took the dubs today. I think we killed it. Here we go!
Go Tanners. Go Tanners. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.